guys, welcome back to another video. So I had a completely different video in mind for today, but I got too frustrated with it, so I don't think that footage is ever going to see the light of day. Technically, I was just going to revamp my VTuber model, but the rigging got so frustrating for me that I feel like I want to restart the rigging again, and I don't want to go through that whole entire process to try to finish it for this week. So either I finish it for a different time, or I'll just do it in my spare time and just, you know, work on it very slowly, because it does give me quite a bit of wrist pain. I don't know if this is normal, by the way, this noise. If it isn't, then oops. But I thought it would be fun to kind of go back and do a little bit of work on that previous OC I was talking about on Wednesday's video. So if you watched Wednesday's video, I did like a screen toning type of sketchbook session, and I made a new OC. But a few of you guys were suggesting that I try more of like a dark green color palette potentially. So I did see some people say like forest colors or something like that could work. So we're gonna play around. I'm gonna do like a quick sketch of kind of like his full body so that we can knock out some of the colors, and then maybe we can do like an illustration at the very end. Not too sure, but I think I'm going to keep today's session a little bit more, even more casual, I guess. So because of the rigging process, it usually does give me a lot of wrist pain and a bit of like shoulder and neck pain because I'm at my computer desk for too long, pretty much just like staying still and just moving my wrist most of the time. I do feel quite stiff, so I don't think I'm going to be using this case for today's little video session. So let me pop up my iPad. I think you guys would have saw in the vlog that I have this little stand that I got as a gift. So I think we're gonna use this for today just because I can prop it at a higher height that's more optimal instead of me like hunching down towards my iPad to see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch views for you guys so that you guys get a better look at this angle. Okay, I think I have this set up. I know it's not the most aesthetic. I still want to see if I can find a way to actually fill in these borders somehow. I think I've shown this before. I have like this little thing that I made it like a makeshift little buffer border thing so that my iPad actually can sit within this section and be kind of like at a proper height rather being down here. And the reason why I don't use it down here is just because the charging cable would have to bend a lot more, so I want it to be at like a reasonable height. But to recap, my new OC, I did do like more doodles and sketches of him a little bit later. Some of you guys said that he looked like the Persona guy from, it's Joker, I think, right? From Persona. And I forgot, that's also a character like visually I really like. I also forgot to talk about Hito, Amagi Hito from Ensemble Stars as well, because he has kind of like the fluffy hair that I really like. And he's like, I don't know, just a character that I also just like in general. So initially, I was gonna go with this kind of like color palette of more navy blue, midnight blue, ultramarine-ish, and then go either white, gold, and kind of like a tan or sandy color for his color palette. I was kind of leaning towards this, but like I said, some of you guys said that it kind of gave you like forest or bookworm, or you think dark green might give a good base color for him, I guess. So I am kind of leaning towards maybe if I do give him black hair, we can still lean him towards green, or give him a really dull dark green kind of hair. But I don't know if it's gonna be too similar to Moriko at this point. So we do have these, and then I did one more alcohol marker kind of test to see whether or not I like the colors for the most part, because I wasn't too sure if I wanted to go straight into digital and play with the colors, or if I want to play with it a little bit more traditionally. So I don't mind these colors. I still quite like them as a color palette. You can see this is what I was going for. I would have liked to make his hair a lot darker so that it doesn't quite match his sweater. But this is kind of what I had initially. But I think playing around with it digitally is going to help me a little bit more, since I won't have to commit so right away. And we can do a lot of versions very quickly. So let's go ahead and go into my OC folder. Let's pick this size, we'll turn it. I'm going to use the 6B pencil so that we can kind of scribble down a makeshift kind of full body of him. Or I guess maybe we should go this way. And then if we have any more iterations, I'll just like expand the canvas more and more because I think we need a little bit more length probably. So you guys won't see it properly, but I will have my references of him on the side right here. So I just took a picture of kind of this one and this one so that we can kind of get a little bit of consistency right off the bat. But I'm glad a lot of you guys already liked them right off the bat. And like I mentioned, I don't know if he will take place of Selwin completely. Selwin was supposed to be part of like a magical fantasy kind of like universe, technically. And I might still put him in that story. We just changed his design a little bit. But if that's the case, I think his personality would change too. Initially, Selwyn had like more of a lazy, well, he could still be lazy, but he had more like a mischievous and lazy kind of vibe to him. While this guy, I think he's more on the sweeter side, but he could still be like lazy and laid back. So in terms of how I want to draw his pose, I think I'm just gonna keep it like, you know, arms to the side, kind of splayed out a little bit. I know I could have used like the symmetry tool, but for some reason I just don't like using it. Give him slightly more like neck room. Sounds a little strange. Okay, so face-wise, just gonna lighten this up a little bit. Give him a slightly longer face. So this isn't gonna be like for sure his final design, but for now I kind of want to solidify some sort of color palette for him. And like any necessary changes we can do at this point. If I'm like unsure, because digital is a little bit more forgiving in terms of changes. Getting a little too tall. Okay, I think that's his face. So I'll figure out his colors after for his hair. And then next is outfit. So outfit wise, I wanted high collar because I draw too many turtlenecks, but I would have loved to give him a turtleneck. High collar, but also longer. I have a cute idea of an illustration. It won't be like solely focused on Selwyn. I think I will add the rest of my OCs because I would like to draw my persona today at this point. So I'm so frustrated with my VTuber model. All I wanted to do was give my VTuber model like a cute new hairstyle as like a toggle. But then I was like, oh, I'll just re-rig everything. Yeah, that was a bad idea. Okay, next is Kurt again. Which I'll make, I don't know what this is called, the cuff. I forget what this is called. I'll make it like fairly large. Big sleeve and kind of like tighter, longer cuff. Okay, and then his actual sweater. I think what I'm gonna do is that for his sweater, it's gonna be, what is this called? What is this called? This ribbing, I guess, for his collar portion of the sweater is just gonna be like this normal type of ribbing. And then as we get to his like hands, I think it would just be like a normal long sleeve. That way he doesn't have two cuffs underneath, because I think that would be uncomfortable. And I was thinking whether or not to give like any sort of buttons or something, because I found something very cute, but maybe instead of like a button, it will be like a, I'm gonna say like a clasp or like a brooch or something, because I want to put this design somewhere, so it's like of like one little thing, kind of like a shooting star in a way, but not like having actual star shapes. And it just like loops onto something on that other side. I don't know if it's because his head's huge, but his body looks tiny. Because I don't know if I want him to be like small or tall. I'll fix his height a little bit later. How about that? Or maybe I didn't really decide anything, so maybe it's like... like this? Because I said I like kind of like dark academia, so I want to give him... maybe slightly fancier. Loafers or something? I don't know. Because I have an idea, maybe I'll give him something for like the inside of his sleeve, so even though it's like plain, it could be something fun. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is... I think I'm gonna change this to multiply, and we're gonna change the line color kind of like to a dark purple, and then we can play around with the colors. So I'm going to actually fill him in really quickly with a skin tone base. So we're just going to use the color fill option with our selection tool, and we're just going to fill in his entire silhouette. That way I can just kind of copy and paste this as the base, and we can kind of keep everything within his shapes. And it'll keep it kind of consistent out like as well. Actually, the illustration that I want to do, I think I might do them in like chibi form. Because I know sometimes Kaisen is a pain to draw as a chibi. I don't know if Selwin will. I'm kind of thinking if I go with like a green and gold kind of aesthetic. Do I make his glasses black or do I make them like gold? Because I think gold could be cute. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this so we have like a backup. We can alpha lock. So I filled in the entirety of his silhouette, as you can see here. So next up is color palette. So I'm gonna quickly do his original color palette that I had initially, but we'll try to keep it as accurate as possible of what the colors I wanted it to be, because I was limited a little bit to the watercolor and the alcohol markers and just like the pace of it. But right now, let's go with like a midnight. I'm leaning it towards more navy, so it's not gonna be super vibrant because that's not exactly my goal with his hair. Something like this. I don't know if they'll be too vibrant in comparison to his hair. Now his hair reads a little bit too much like black. Give him a little bit of color in his face. Okay, so next is, I think I want it to be white. Kind of like a lighter navy blue. I kind of like this for his hair color though. It's a bit matchy-matchy with his hair, but I think it might be okay. The thing is like now I don't know what I want, so maybe off-white. So we'll stick with an off-white first. And then pants, I had more of like a brown. And I think I want him to have like black socks or dark gray. Does that match? Or should we go white? And dark. There's like a slight gradation. Or that looks silly maybe. So that looks too much like sneakers. And then yellow. This I also had yellow. Does this look silly? So honestly I can't tell. So we'll duplicate this. Might have to do a few iterations. Alpha lock, and we'll do kind of the same thing. Okay, so one thing I did, and this is kind of like another reason why I wanted to do this today, is that on Pinterest, I'll put it on the screen, hopefully while I'm talking about it. Let me go to my color palettes, or I can show you guys right here as well, so I don't forget. I saved the bunch that's more like on the bluish side, as well as like on the green gold. And there's like a lot of really pretty ones. I kind of like this. Or we can go more earthy. I guess I saved them somewhere else. I have all these. So they're definitely more like on the darker-ish side. So we could definitely do a lot of different iterations. But there are some. Also, I found these very neat. I usually don't see color palettes that do like a few colors plus like gradations within each color. So I kind of like one of these for his eye colors potentially. Like a dark green. The thing is like I have to like the dark green enough. Because I like dark green as like paired up with certain colors, but on its own it looks a little too overwhelming. A part of me knows like I'll acclimate myself to the character's design the more I draw them, so it's not going to be like a super big deal. But I think this is just me like not picking flats. But this looks kind of cute, right? Well, let me do his eye color really quick. Because some of these I really like. But I don't know if they suit him, so... Purple and green always looks nice together too, though. More yellowy. That could be cute. We can always change the eye color even more later. So as I make this... I don't know if I like this color though. I also forgot to add in his accessories in his face. Otherwise, the gold just looks kind of out of place slightly. So how about something like this? Okay, we're gonna... Oops. Duplicate, duplicate. Because the other option is this and can kind of combine the two. But then that's the case, I feel like I would have to give him lighter hair, but I kind of don't. I don't know. I want a darker haired OC. I really need to pick like a color palette and actually stick to it. I feel like I'm finagling too much by interfering. Because the other option is to go... It just depends. Like, if I want his hair to be the darkest thing, just thought we do a gradation. I really like a midnight blue. You guys see it a lot lighter on the camera, actually. So, let me see if I can change my gain. Okay, so the other one I'm looking at right now, so pretend, I'm gonna do it right now. We're gonna put kind of like a sandy-ish color for the base of his shirt. I could change it to white at some point. Where do I want to add certain colors? So if I do this and then make a really more like a brick red. So I like these colors, but I don't know if it's too much. But I don't know if they're competing too much value-wise. So I might have to darken this up again. Seeing right here. I do kind of like this. I don't know if I like this anymore. Maybe I should get rid of the star design. I feel exactly what I want. Ooh, I do like this color combination. I don't know if it works for him. I'm leaning towards these two. Okay, so other ones I'm saying maybe we can go. The thing is, do I make his hair a lot lighter? I really want a dark haired OC again though. Keep it with our dark green then. Because a part of it could be because like I want them to have darker eyes maybe. I'm trying to think of like the color distribution. Because if I could also make his shirt dark. This lighter, we get lighter and lighter. I don't know if this looks the same as that other one I did. And then we'll do one more blue one because I'm still attached. Whoops. So let's try again. Go with our blue. I might give him a gradation of a hair color. Like very subtly. So I'm not too against maybe making the shirt like a different color. I feel like I'm being stubborn because I have particular colors in my brain that I want to keep. Because eye color, I think I want to stick with the sunset colors. Because some of you guys also said that because it's sunset colors. Because the other option is to make these part of his collar instead. Well, not the collar, the thing that's underneath his collar. In some designs I have his pants being like just a straight up black. I think it's also like I could add accessories or something to this area, because initially I also had like the pin brooch thing. If I had the sweater going this way, I would have it like this. Kind of leaning towards this. I don't know if I want it to be like turquoisey blue, where it's like more navy-ish. I don't know if you guys can really see it, or if I want to go like midnight blue where it's more purpley blue. Give me yeehaw energy. I think, yeah, maybe. Okay, let's see what we have here. I still like this one. I like both of these, to be honest. This one's really cute. I don't know now. I might change his color, like I said. So maybe leaning towards this one. This is his original. And then these ones, I think, as much as I like the color combination, I don't know if it works for him. Should I do a poll? I don't know. I don't know. And then these ones as well. Because now I'm looking at this one, not gravitating towards it. I might keep his eye color though. Because this one's fun. Because I usually don't have this color, like a terracotta, copper red. It's not even a copper red. I think it's like terracotta, brick red-ish, burnt sienna kind of color. Or like sienna colored that we have. Thinking I might go with this one. Like I said, I might change the collar a little bit because he's giving me a little bit too much like Western vibe. But I kind of like this. I'll probably put the picture on the screen right now for you guys because this is reading very orangey red in the picture, but this is more like terracotta brownish. But the reason why I'm gonna have commitment issues. I don't know. I think let's work on the illustration. Not of him quite yet, so I think Selwin's gonna take a little bit of a break. I might include him in the little chibi version thing that I want to do. So basically, let's work on the illustration, I think is my main goal. So let's go do that first. So I don't know how many people are actually going to reach this end of the video since it is kind of on the longer-ish side, but hope you guys enjoyed watching me kind of like nitpick my way through of doing some sort of color palette for my OC Selwyn. But we're kind of switching gears, and even though I technically recorded the full session for this particular illustration, it didn't really make sense to split this video into two separate parts, so I decided to speed down the footage or speed up the footage of one of my time lapses so that we could just talk about the illustration kind of like bit by bit without taking up too much time. So by the time this video comes out, I believe it's the 19th, so technically it will be my birthday. So I thought it'd be cute to draw my persona alongside with all of my OCs around me. It kind of looks like I'm tossing them up in the air in a way, so they're all just chilling and having fun for the most part. And then I have Selwyn kind of hanging out on my shoulder because I guess like his design isn't like fully set. I was thinking that I wouldn't show much of like his body so I don't have to commit to a color palette right away. Also in the top left hand corner, I ended up putting Arakan and Anka into the illustration too, just because it didn't feel right if I included Selwyn that I didn't include those two as well. So in the future, when I finally like solidify their designs, they'll be participating in more illustrations that I do in the future. I think technically Anka is like, her design is pretty much finished. I just need to fix up Arakan and then I will like actually properly do some sort of reference sheet for them of some sort, and then I will do the same for Selwyn. Selwyn might come first just because I feel very gung-ho about working on his design a little bit more. But kind of talking about the illustration a little bit more, I ended up drawing my persona first, and then after that we did all the chibis on kind of like the separate layer from my persona, so that way we can actually just, you know, render them without having to erase around the VTuber model underneath. So I thought it would be a little bit easier. Also style-wise, for both the persona version of myself alongside with all my chibi of my OCs, I decided to keep everything much more simple and just keep the lines kind of dark and bold so that we don't have to do too much cleaning up or that much detailing. So I think that's it for kind of like today's little session. Hopefully you guys didn't mind a rambly me being very indecisive with colors. I think I am going to stick with the one that has kind of like the terracotta brownish red color, but I'll adjust like the ratios and stuff, and maybe I will revert back to the blue one, who knows. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll make sure to include kind of like shots or like the pictures of all the outfits that I ended up doing for Selwyn. Let me know which one's your favorite. I am still partial to the one that has more of the terracotta color, even though it doesn't really give like star or like galaxy-esque aesthetic anymore. But I'll talk to you guys next time in the next video. Bye!